Hi gang, this is Mike G from Mr G TV and MrMikeGarner.com, and this is my point of view, literally driving through the back streets of Hua Hin. Just been to see a pal of mine. It's sort of like between Christmas and New Year, and you sort of don't know what to do, which is a funny thing for me to say because I plan everything, but you sort of, you've got things set up for next year, hopefully. You've just had Christmas, you've maybe got things set up for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and most of it involves your family or your social circle or something work related. So you're in sort of like a no man's land, if you like. Sometimes you forget what day it is, you're out of your routine. One of the routines that I stick to that anchors me is my metaphysical practices, which I'm just going to briefly go over now so you can enjoy the view out of the front screen of my pickup, and I'll give you my point of view also on how to maintain balance, because a lot of things that I teach and preach I do regularly, but I know that my students and clients probably check into it and they use it when they are in the shit, when things go wrong. It's rather like, you know, you become very religious. You know, if you got stuck in a lift and you think you're going to get locked in for a day, you start praying, please God, get me out. You become very religious. You know, when you're ill, please God, get me well. So you'll pray when you're in the shit, but when you're out the shit, you forget to pray. It's rather like these friends that are there for you when you're needy, but when you're not needy, you quite often forget your friends. Something I'm very aware of and I'm alert to, and I pay attention to who are the people that are there for me when I need them, rather than the ones that are always needy of me. Quite an easy and obvious thing to say, but you don't always think about it, you know, that you will cross oceans for some people and they wouldn't jump puddles for you. So I rely on myself. So the things that I do is, I'll start first thing in the morning. I get up and I log my dreams. What have I been dreaming about? That's significant. What's the theme of my dream? What is the theme of my dream? And if during the night I wake up, I ground myself, and I've not woke up by accident, because there's no accidents. So what was I experiencing in? What was going on in my dream? What's the lesson? Where was my subconscious mind taking me? So I wake up in the morning and I review my dreams, and then I say my affirmations. My affirmations are programmed 3 times a day for 21 days. A series of affirmations, a cluster of affirmations that move me towards the things that I want to have in my life, the person I want to become, and the things that I want to do. I won't say more than that because I've done loads of videos and affirmations and have, be and do. And then I put my feet on the floor and I ground myself. I do a grounding visualization, I do a connecting visualization to connect to the cosmos, to God, to love, to the power, and then I protect myself. I don't have the level of protection that I have when I'm leaving the house and I'm going to be embraced by negativity, because my house is positive, my environment is positive, because I've got crystals everywhere and occult symbols, which doesn't mean satanic. Occult is just hidden knowledge, so I use sacred symbols throughout my house to maintain the vibration. I've got crystals and positive objects and positive colours, and my home is a place of peace. but I still protect myself. If I go out from my place of peace, my home, then I put another level of protection on. So I ground, I connect, I protect, and then I eat healthy. First thing in the morning, apple cider vinegar, lime juice, and a living yogurt that lines my stomach, and then I have my cup of tea, and then I have my breakfast. And at the moment I'm pretty keto or carnivore, so that's a choice. You can make your choice, but I eat healthy. And then I start 10,000 steps. I might do 1,000, and then I've got 9,000 to do. I might do 5,000, I've got 5,000 to do. So I have a target of 10,000 steps. Sometimes I meet it, sometimes I don't, but that's my target. More often than not, I meet it. And then I do some, I look at my goal list. I have a list of things that I want to do. And then I also have a list of goals that I need to do. Want and need are two different things. So for most people, get your needs met first. But I've got most of my needs met. I've still got some outstanding things, but I do what I want, get what I want, do what I need, and have my needs met. Want is a weak word, really. Have your needs met first. Before you start getting things that you can't afford, get financial security. Before you look elsewhere for other people to make you happy, make yourself happy. Love yourself, like yourself. Be happy independent of other people, and then share that happiness and that positivity. If you're waiting for somebody else to cheer you up, then they control you, and you'll never feel enough on your own. So get to that place of power where you're independent of other people's good and bad opinion, but you choose to be with other people because it enhances your experience. And do things that enhance your life experience and enhance your health and move you towards your goals. Make sure that throughout your day you check in and notice how you feel. And how you feel will be dictated by what you're thinking about. So witness what you're thinking about. And what I've done in advance of this is I've created what I call safe place imagery. So I can, wherever I am, whoever I'm with, whatever I'm doing, create instant relaxation by visualizing myself in a place where I relax, even if I'm not in that place. And I can get that feeling back. In the dentist chair, in the past, getting frustrated on hold, contacting a call centre that says your call is very important, please wait, and you're there 20 minutes and there's steam coming out your ears. That doesn't happen to me anymore now. It used to, but now I've got control over that. I put myself in my safe place imagery. I imagine that I'm in a deck chair on the beach. I'm actually holding a phone, waiting for my call to be answered, or at the traffic lights. And instead of getting irate that I'm being delayed, I go into my safe place imagery and create relaxation. And then I do daily self-healing, and then I send healing, because the more I send, the more I get. It's called the law of reciprocity, that the more you give away, the more you receive. And I imagine that everybody that I meet has got a sign round the neck that says, make me feel important. And I respond to that sign. I make people feel important, make people feel significant, loved and respected. And I listen to them. I listen twice as much as I speak, even though I'm a big talker, because I've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So I communicate with those proportions. I listen twice as much as I speak, because I know my stories. I don't need to share them unless I'm teaching from them for people's benefit. But I'm not out there to big myself up. I'm out there to empower people with stories and good advice, never saying that I'm right, but I like to listen to people to learn from them, because I'm not them and I can learn by listening. And then I get my jobs done, and I get my needs met, and I get what I want, and I smile a lot as well. And I always pause for consideration before I respond. I think to myself, what am I creating by saying this, by doing this? I, as best as I can, act and don't react. Reacting has got the word re in it, which is repeat. I don't repeat actions. I don't always do the same in the same situations. I do what's best that moves me towards what I want to happen and do in a situation. And it works better, it's more successful to be kind rather than be right. So I don't get dragged into arguments. But I will stand up for myself. But if I disappear, that's because I don't want to argue, I just disappear. So if I've removed myself from your life during 2024, it's because I don't want to argue with you. And I don't want to make you wrong. And I don't want to say that I'm right. I'll wait for people to come back to me agreeably. So if you want to be agreeable, be quick to agree, don't argue. Self-healing, breathing techniques, self-control techniques, empowerment techniques, goal setting and goal getting, visualization, affirmation, watching my vocabulary, and then living my best life. And these are my hints and tips, and this is what I do with all my clients. I teach them this stuff, and then I mentor them through it, and I give them what's called situational support. Situational support means when the shit hits the fan, I help you shift. I help you look at it as devil's advocate, if you like, with no agenda. You go to your friends, they've all got an agenda. If you're a smoker and you tell your smoking friends that you're going to stop smoking, they won't want you to stop smoking because they're going to lose a smoking partner. If you want to stop gambling or stop drinking, and all your friends are gamblers and drinkers, they're not going to support you because it casts them in a bad light. They don't want you to succeed at doing what they can't do. If you want to go into business, they're not going to tell you to go into business, and because you go into business, you're going to work very hard and they're going to lose you from their social circle. And then you're going to become a different person. You're going to educate yourself, and in a world where most people don't read a book, I don't mean a fictional story, but don't do any study from the day they leave school. They don't want you to educate yourself and to rise above where they are, because that makes them judge themselves. So understand that. When somebody says to you, you can't do that, you won't do that, they're talking about themselves. They won't do it, they can't do it, but you can. You can do anything that you put your mind to. So I create pictures and images and an internal vocabulary that supports my future goals. And I help other people do the same. I've got absolutely no agenda other than helping you overcome all the obstacles that stand in the way of your health, happiness and success in life and business. But your friends will have an agenda, even though they say they love you. But they love you to stay the same. They'll keep you in your limitation because that doesn't challenge them, and they can give you their advice and share their limiting stories based on their self-limiting beliefs. But that's not to your advantage. So I'm going to point out the bloody obvious and tell you to get away from those people, or to put protection around yourself like I did before and turn up to those people, witness it and see what it really is and see through the bullshit. So this is how I live my life. I don't say I'm right, but it's worked for me. And I've exceeded my own expectations where my life has took me. And I've had lots of failures, but you can't have success without failures. When I do corporate mentoring, and people say, you know, how do you double your success rate? Well, the answer to that is you triple your failure rate. The failure is an integral part of moving towards the acquisition of success. And the more you fail, the more you learn, and you fall forward. You don't fail and fall backwards, you fall forward. So as we get to the end of the year, just work out what you want more of and what you want less of, and take the action steps. And if you need situational support or guidance and you want to chat, I'm here for that. But you can shift powerfully, and at the end of 2024, or whenever you're listening to this presentation, it's never too late to change. Never too late to change. See, this car on the right hand side here is actually in the wrong lane, and now just without signals coming across, and this is what you live with in Thailand. Most people have got no insurance, no driving license, and all the gear and no idea. But you just have to calmly understand that, and the fact that Thailand actually means free land, that's what it means. Thailand actually translates to free land. It's a land of smiles, and it's free and easy with very little regulation, and you can do what you want. So if you wanted the place to be regulated, and rules and regulations and everything to be orderly, you're in the wrong place. You've got to realise that there's 9-year-old kids whizzing past you on motorbikes with no licences, no helmet, flip-flops, and the police won't stop them because this is Thailand. So you've just got to live the best life you can where you are with what you've got right now. And this road that I'm driving down now, you've probably seen many times, because I quite often do my point of view and talk to you while you're looking at what's in front of my pickup. And this road has been widened and modernised, because the whole area where I bought my land 8 years ago now, Hua Hin has expanded, and it's become more populated with more services and facilities than ever. So you've got to live intuitively as well. You've got to listen to your higher self. You've got to take higher guidance, because your own mind is locked into conditioned program thinking, and you've got to get out of that. You've got to unlearn what you think you know. You've got to unlearn what you think you know. You've got to question everything. Question your friends' agendas, as I've said, your boss's agendas, your partner's agendas, your children's agendas, everybody. Question what you see on the media, hear through the government, and just take a higher perspective. That's a massive statement, that, and quite difficult to do. I'm 67, and you know, I've lived enough decades to, I can actually say I've seen it all before, in a way. That sounds arrogant, but you know, you have. You know, I never lived through the 2 world wars, but I've seen enough wars and famines and disasters and natural disasters and man-made disasters, and I've had enough jobs and relationships to have learnt through the University of Life, by witnessing and experiencing, that things aren't always what they seem. People aren't always what they seem. And the way to get beyond that is to go inside, to take a higher perspective, to talk to your higher self, which isn't some imaginary concept. It's actually your subconscious mind that is part of your physiology, your psychology and your biology, and take an overview of what's happening in this life story and control it. Become the director of your life story. So you actually script write your own life story, produce your own life story, direct your own life story, and become a superstar in your life story. And you can do that. And if you want to do that at the beginning of next year, we need a chat. So these are my hints and tips and how I live my day, my way. Not saying that I'm right, but it's worked for me, it works for my clients and students. And the trick is to remember that you know it, not just to do it, like I say, not just to pray or to use a technique when you're in the shit. No, it's to make it a permanent part of your daily practice so you don't get in the shit. Shift in every moment. Shift into your higher self, not your lower egoic self, and then you won't have poor health. You won't have negative emotions. You'll have balance, you'll have control, you'll have power, and you can create miracles, and you really can create miracles. Now, I've not got much to say, but I will show you. This is the road that I live on, and if you haven't seen it before, there was nothing here. This was a clay road, but it's a concrete made up road now, and there's houses at this end, and they're selling plots on the left. You can see the sign there. So if you're interested, just stay on for another minute and you'll see the route to my house and where I am. So these are rubber trees to the left. These posts on the right have just been put there because this concrete road has just been made. So there's clearly developments in the area. You can see they've dug out to the right. They're putting water pipes towards my property. So quite often the water gets cut off. That's one of those moments where you have to use all the techniques not to be frustrated. Halfway through a shower, or you plan to have a shower and then there's no water. Or there's a power cut because they're doing development. You just got to accept that. A lot of people would spit the dummy out. What makes you spit your dummy out? If you want to get control around that and don't feel shit and spit your dummy out, you need to shift, and we need a chat. So here's a pickup. Somebody's doing some work on the left, and you can see my house in the distance now. There's two roofs, one for my main house and one for my guest house. There's a front garden, guest house, pool. Front garden, main house, pool, guest house, garden, farm behind, and then lake, and then a pagoda house. And trust me, I'm not a millionaire. You can have this stuff quite economically in Thailand, but you wouldn't be able to have it anywhere else in the world. Well, you probably can, but Thailand is my chosen place for me to be at the moment. That's my property, and soon you'll see my gate with a for sale sign, because it's all up for sale, because I never stay still. I'm always wanting to have, be and do more. So here's the gate. There's the advert: beautiful home with self-contained guest house, large pool, established farmland for sale. This was all visualised, and it was realised. A goal set, a goal get, and so can you. And when you want to start to get control and have be and do more, you know what to do. Call me on any of the contact details where you're viewing this presentation. Happy New Year, everybody. God bless.